What's up, guys? I'm gonna start this video with a little bit of a fiery take. I think bino harnesses are stupid, all right? At least from my application. If you guys are veterans to this channel, you know that's not a new take for me. But we've got a lot of questions lately on what I use as my chest pack and what brand, what setup, everything like that, so that maybe you guys can look at going down the road of enlightenment. Now, if you're new to this channel, I'm Matt with Deer and Donuts. And the reason I think bino harnesses are greatly overrated is because of how I use them, all right? I will own that. I'm not gonna say this is a end-all be-all take for everybody. They do have their place depending on how you hunt. But with that said, I do most of my hunting in the Western United States. I go back to the Midwest a little bit for whitetail most years, but the primary amount of my tags are in the Western United States doing spot and stalk. Now, the first part of that is the key here, the spotting, all right? I use 15 power binoculars for the most part. I have Maven B5 15 by 56 binos. And these suckers are a little bit bigger than your average 10 by 42 that you're used to. They're not real sturdy to glass by hand, and they're not really great for just handheld, whip them out. Oh my God, I see a deer at 300 yards. They're just not that steady because of the size and the magnification. I'll own that. They're not a do-it-all binocular. Now, can it be done? Can I hand glass something at 300 yards? Absolutely. There are people probably way better at it than I am that use that as their primary means. But for me, again, it just does not work great. And for most people, I think they're just not gonna be sturdy enough to really use those as just a normal handheld binocular. So it really begs the question, why would I keep it on my chest? There's not gonna be a lot of situations where I need quick access to it, or again, I'm gonna pull it out in glass by hand. They're mostly going to be better served in my backpack, protected and not getting beat up, and I pull them out when I get to my glassing knob. So that really leaves me with two options. Either one, I can carry a second set of binoculars, smaller, in a chest pack, all right? Not a great idea if you're trying to weigh out ounces, pounds, everything like that. Try and have a nice, lightweight, minimalist kit. Or your other option is you just get a bigger harness, and again, you just keep those 15 powers on your chest. I don't think they're gonna be real useful to you, and again, I don't think they're gonna be as protected as they would be in your pack. I don't know that either is a great solution. Now, with that said, I still wanna carry some of the things that typically go with or in a bino harness with me. All right, you'll see people run holsters. I like keeping a handgun on me, wind checkers, range finders, things of that nature. I still want to carry all that, and I still want to have it readily accessible. I just don't want the extra weight and the extra size and bulk of giant binoculars on my chest that I'm probably not going to use. So to fix my dilemma, I want to enter a company out of Colorado called Hill People Gear. All right, I've been using their kit bags for about 5 years now. I've ran through a couple of different variations. They make them in 3 different sizes, a snubby, which is a little bit smaller than this, the medium here, and then the full size. I've never messed with the full size. I think it's probably a little bit of overkill. But again, that's gonna have to be a decision you gotta make on what you wanna carry. They make them in a bunch of different variations. They make a recon one with MOLLE all along the front. They make an original that's smooth across the front. They make this search and rescue one that has a nice little spot for a radio. But ultimately what I've decided on is this medium search and rescue is in the manatee and black. The manatee is the gray color. They do make these in about 8 different colors. Now, I will own it, these bags are not cheap. They're gonna run you somewhere in the neighborhood between about $120 up to $175, depending on size and setup you want. So this one right here, 165 bucks, but I'm gonna walk you through why I think that's worth it. Now let's start with the construction on this thing, okay? It is made out of the classic 500 denier Cordura nylon. All right, it's probably going to well outlive me, be worn by cockroaches in the apocalypse, whatever it is that you think, but it is definitely durable. I've had this one for probably about 2 years, and I mean, there's not even a scratch on it. It looks brand new still. Beyond that, you got this nice H harness, nice thick straps, so you're not wearing too much of the weight in one pinpoint spot. If you've ever wore a harness with real thin straps, you know it really starts to hurt right in here where it starts to pinch and all that weight is hanging on just by a thread. So these nice thick straps are really comfortable and really beneficial, all right? It's got some Grimlock D-loops for keeping your different gear. I'll go through what I like keeping in a second, but again, Nice thick buckles, nice thick straps. Never had anything break on me, never even had anything start to fray. This thing has been so far indestructible, and I can tell you that was the same thing with my snubby. All right, I had the snubby size for about 2 years. The only reason I upgraded was I wanted a little bit more room to carry a couple of extra things. Now let's go over the features. Again, I have the search and rescue one. It has 2 MOLLE loops on the front, so I can put a radio up front. I think radios are a great tool to have in the backcountry. Even if you aren't allowed to use them for hunting situations, still being able to keep in touch with your crew and with your friends is invaluable. You don't want something to happen to them and have them have no way to get a hold of you. So I like having the radio really accessible, but again, they make MOLLE ones, they make plain ones. Whatever it is you guys want, they have options for it, okay? It has this nice big Velcro strap. You can do lame things like put your blood type or put your name, unit patch, whatever it is, or you can put Big Dick Barry and have the good luck that comes with it. So again, just kind of working through the outside, it has these Grimlock D-loops at the top. All right, it also has a couple inside. We'll go over that in a second, but I like these ones. One, I keep my archery release on it if I'm doing any sort of archery hunting. Keeps it nice and accessible immediately, and this D-loop is probably never going to break, so I am never going to lose this release. I also keep a little pouch. All it has is a microfiber cloth. Most hunts I have some sort of optic on me, so having the ability to clean it really quick, beneficial to me. Beyond that, with this medium size, you have 3 different pouches, all right? You have 2 main pouches in this about 1 pound harness, all right? They are 7 inches by 10 inches, and we'll go over kind of what the setup of them is and how I have them set up, all right? So this back one, as you can see, really close to your body, okay? What I do is I keep my handgun in there. Keeps the weight right next to my chest, all right? Nice and tight to my body. This is by far the heaviest thing in this kit, so having it nice and close to my body is beneficial. It does have a nice thick and sturdy Velcro strip on it. If you have a holster that is a Velcro holster or something and you want to throw it on there, it's gonna stick perfectly. Because of the setup and because of the size, it keeps my handgun in place. It keeps it so that as a right-handed draw, I can slide in, get a good grip every time. It's not gonna move around. And if I need to get it out in a hurry to defend myself, I have the ability to. Now, before I move on from that, obviously every product isn't perfect. The one thing I don't like about this back pouch is it has this little piece of fabric. It's a little flap. It's probably meant to keep things out of your zipper. But with that said, it sometimes gets in the way, sometimes slides into your zipper and makes it a little bit hard to close. Move into this second pouch, all right? You can see, big pouch, got MOLLE webbing. You can loop panels in here if you want, but if you don't want to weave pouches in here, all right? This back panel is made of a fabric, works really well for Velcro. Usually what I keep in here is just this little tab, keeps 5 rifle rounds. Nothing more than that. I like to just have things loose in this pouch, all right? Now working further out, you have your last pouch, all right? This one does not flop open. It's a little bit more of your typical pouch that you think of, just drop stuff down in, all right? What I usually keep in here, my wind checker, nice and light. Don't care that that's out in front. Also keeps it upright at all times. It's not gonna slide around in this pouch. And beyond that, usually through different D-loops, I just keep my truck keys. All right, don't want to lose those in the backcountry. That would really suck. Again, you can keep whatever you want in here. Just know that you do have 2 nice big pouches and then a center-fed large pouch in front of it, all right? It gives you a lot of room to set this up exactly how you want. Now, here is what to me could be the best seller on this, all right? If you really think, man, I don't want to give up my binoculars, all right? That just sucks. I don't really want to do it, but I think this looks like a cool setup. I truly believe in this center pouch. If you wanted to run like some 10x32s, 8x32s, something like that, something that is a lot more manageable to glass by hand, 100% gonna fit in there, not gonna give you a lot of extra bulk, and you're gonna be able to run this similar to a normal bino harness with all the added benefits that this provides. Now, one final feature that they have MOLLE loops along the bottom. If you don't like running your handgun in the back and you wanna run a holster that comes from the bottom, that's here for this. It's here for attaching a spot for a tourniquet. Whatever you can think of with a single row of MOLLE, you can make happen here. It's a really versatile pack because of it. Now, we're not gonna stop there. I'm gonna show you the sizes, the bulk it is, everything like that. So, like I said, H harness. Just goes over, buckles quick, sits nice and high on my chest, all right? The thing that I really like about this is my straps for my pack go here. It never interferes with that. It has been comfortable to hike in with a pack. I've never had any issues. Every once in a while while I'm hiking in the dark, I may take it off if someone else has a handgun, just put it in my pack. And that is purely because, as with anything, if you start putting on extra layers, it gets warm, okay? That's no secret here. It's 500 denier Cordura nylon. It's gonna keep in a little bit of heat, same as a bino harness would. If I can get rid of that, sometimes I will. But it has been incredibly comfortable to hike in. Now I'll zip this up to give it the best fighting chance it can, all right? Turn, and you can see it's not real bulky, especially if I get rid of the radio. It's like 2-3 inches off my chest is all. It's really thin, really streamlined. I have no issues with it getting caught on things or being in my way. If you've watched some of our archery hunting videos or our hike to hunt, things of that nature, you've seen I'll shoot my bow with this on all day long, have zero issues with it. So that is it. That is the Hill People Gear kit bag, all right? If you guys want to support a smaller mom and shop company out of the United States, this is probably a good one to go with. There are some other companies that make similar things. I just don't think that they are as well made as this Hill People Gear bag is. So I hope I made you guys a believer. I hope maybe you look at kit bags over a bino harness and we can start, we'll call it a revolution. Until next time, I'm Matt with Deer and Donuts. Goodbye.